Hey everybody, it's Jasmine. So today I wanted to do something more of a lighthearted talking video. Maybe challenge. Is this considered a challenge? I don't even know. I wanted to have something just that we can all laugh about or agree with. And so I decided to ask you guys on Instagram to assume my pet peeves and things that annoy me or get me irritated because as most of you guys know, I am a full-time college student. Sometimes I just don't have time to be dealing with bullshit. Just in general, there's just some times where I can't handle it. So I'm going to be talking to you guys now. If you guys are wondering why one side of my cheek is kind of stiff and doesn't have any muscle movement, is because yes, I got my wisdom teeth out. Now I've been pretty vocal about it, but if you didn't get the memo, then that's pretty much why. I am on day 5 post-surgery, so I'm healing up pretty well. I will have a video like talking about how it was, you know, going through like my wisdom tooth experience, because this by far was one of the worst experiences that I've had, but that's not for this video. So let's roll into it. For this poll, I got a lot of responses, a lot more than I typically ever get whenever I ask questions on Instagram, which I was so excited about. I was like, oh my god, people are actually participating. It's kind of like my giveaways where I'll host a giveaway but like 10 people enter. Anyway, that's just me being kind of salty. But the first one that I wanted to talk about is from Ashley, and she said, when people walk slowly in front of me. Okay, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on my channel. Like, I don't know if you guys know. You probably do. I mean, you guys watch me. But in certain tutorials or certain videos, I tell you guys little fun facts about me here and there. And I am the type of person that when I'm going to my destination, I'm a speed walker. I have pretty long legs. I will pretty much get to my destination on time. And so if I am, say, going to the library at school and I'm like, oh, I have to go meet my group at the library at 3:30, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I will Naruto run if I have to get there. But if somebody is in my way and then they stop in their tracks and not move to the side, ShopMissA will pop off. ShopMissA will almost shove you out the way. Almost. I say almost because I've never done it, but I picture it in my mind, so. It's a plausible threat to anybody who walks slow or stops in front of me. I don't know, I just don't get it. Like, we're walking the same speed, or so I think we're walking the same speed, and all of a sudden you just stop to take a selfie.
I'm not sure I understand.
My heart just fell out of my ass. So I got a few comments where people say when people eat very loudly or when people smack their food around, and in all honesty, I don't mind it, but I mind it because I will voluntarily watch ASMR, like chewing ASMR, specifically sea grapes ASMR. Oh my god, that's the best ASMR. Hands down. Don't at me, because if you haven't heard that, you haven't lived, honestly. Anyway, I love ASMR, but there's a huge difference between me wanting to hear ASMR and someone just obnoxiously eating something that isn't meant to be messy. So for example, chips. You can't chew chips quietly because whatever you do, when you bite down, there's going to be a crunch. That's how it is. But if somebody is just eating with their mouth open, like gnawing on it and just like really trying to make that noise heard, then I think it's a problem. I think you need to go. You need to leave the room. You need to focus on chewing your food, and I don't know, it's different when I just don't want to hear it, you know? When you put on mascara and it gets on your eyeshadow or face. Oh my god, there was a time in my life, I forgot when this was, but there was a period in my life where in this specific month After I applied mascara, I would always sneeze. Every time. Every time. And it would piss me the hell off. I would just apply just one coat, all of a sudden I'd have to sneeze. Or I'd finish applying, I'd be like, oh my god, I didn't sneeze. And then next thing you know, I have like an episode of 10 sneezes, and I'm just like my head hurts. Like, you know, it's just like, I can't believe I have to redo everything. Yes. I hate it when I get mascara smudges on my eyes or on my face. Like if I have mascara smudging like at the end of the day, whatever, you know, like I'm gonna wipe it off, but when it's applied and I sneeze in particular, people who can't drive. Okay, listen, I'm gonna tell you a story about yesterday. So I'm driving in San Jose and this guy is just all up on the back of my car, like not literally but figuratively. He's like all up on the back of my car, and I'm just like, what is this dude's problem? It's traffic hour. He's not really gonna get anywhere. Like, ends up just cutting me off for some weird reason, even though I was going like the speed of traffic. And mind you, we're in a residential area, so 25 miles per hour. Anyway, so he like cuts me off, and then we meet at a stoplight. So now I'm behind him and he's in front of me. Right when it turns green, I got pissed off, so I honked my horn. I get the worst road rage. No, seriously, I get the worst road rage. One time I was backing out of my parking spot, and I'm pretty diligent with looking back and like making sure the coast is clear. And if somebody swoops in with the quickness and honks at me for backing out when I had the right of way, because nobody was there and they just came in hella fast and they honk at me, you bet your ass I'm gonna get out my spot real quick, speed up to them and look at them and have an attitude. I don't play games. I get really angry. I get really angry. And there's been so many times where like people hit me because they don't look when they back out. I'm parked, just having a good time, and then this person's like backing out of their spot as well, and then they hit my car, and then they think I'm not there to witness. I want it to stop. And it happens the most when it's the first rainy day of the season. Always, like one droplet comes out of the sky, and mind you, I live in California. One drop falls out the sky and all hell breaks loose. Nobody knows how to drive, and I don't want it. I don't want it. I can't. So I got a lot from my friend Ave, and she said, OMG queen, you're so famous. And she kind of knows this, that I get uncomfortable. This isn't a pet peeve or something that annoys me. I get uncomfortable when people refer to me as somebody famous, or if they're a fan, or if I'm an idol. I get really uncomfortable because if I can say this without like making myself sound bad, but you guys don't really know me 100%. And that goes for anybody else on the internet. You don't know anybody 100% unless you really meet them and you've known them for years. And even yet, like, even my parents don't know me 100%. With that being said, I only show you guys like my makeup side or like my Q&A side or anything like that. But at the end of the day, when camera is off, when the lights are off, the doors are closed, I am a full-time college student. You know, I work my jobs that I have to work, and you know, I get laid off, I quit, you know, from jobs, and it's hard. I still live a life that you guys live too, and I just don't want to be seen as somebody with super high status, because it's not me, and I don't feel like I necessarily deserve it, because I want you guys to have the feeling that you guys are my friends and that you guys are here to chit chat and talk about your day, and I just want to feel connected, and I don't want it to feel like, oh, I'm just so superior to you because I make videos. I don't want it to come off that way at all. And I think this is something that like I barely talk about, but the people who really know me know that I hate being called famous. My best friend, she jokes about it, but she understands it completely that I just like to stay like very low key. The next one that I have is mispronounced names. I'm gonna have to talk about this one because this is something that annoys me, and I think I would have to consider it a pet peeve, especially when people call me Yasmin. And I get it, you know, my boyfriend's family, like, they're Mexican, so they call me Yasmin, which is fine, but not Yasmin, because it doesn't have an accent, you know what I mean? It's different. In in high school, the vice principal came into my classroom and he walks in and he called me a completely different name. He said, "Is desixkaty here?" So my other friend Kate also gave me a lot of questions sporadically, so whenever I'm like scrolling through these, I'm like seeing all her comments, which is so hilarious. So she knows how much I hate this. I think she's the only person who I've like really discussed this with, because I hate it when people ask me to do giveaways. There's something about it that seems so ungenuine. Disgenuine, ungenuine, not genuine. It just irks me, because last year I've hosted so many giveaways, and mind you, I've been pretty vocal about it. Like, if I'm hosting a giveaway, like, I'll post it on my YouTube community page saying like, hey, there's a giveaway link in so-and-so video, go check it out. Or I'll post it on my Instagram story and I'd be like, hey, there's a giveaway link in this video. And you know, I make rules pretty simple. I've hosted a couple international giveaways. I've hosted, I think, 15 giveaways last year in 2018. So I hosted a fair amount, and it's not cheap. It's not cheap at all to do giveaways. And when I hear somebody saying like, hey, I want you to do a giveaway because you never do giveaways, it's like a slap in the face. It's like an insult, because I know I do it. And if I'm being completely honest, and if I'm being completely just vocal, I get at most 30 people who enter my giveaways. 30 people. So that gives people who want to enter my videos a chance to win, and I think that's fair, because typically whenever I do giveaways, by the way, if you're watching and you're wondering about my giveaways, when I do giveaways, I usually mention it at the very end of the video when I'm doing my outro, and I'll always have the link hidden in the description box below, because I want the people who actually care about my videos and the people who actually take time to watch my videos to win. And I genuinely think that's fair. I don't want just people who type in the search bar open giveaways and then have my video pop up. I don't want that, because I know people do that, and it's not fun, and it's not worth it. Julie assumed when people assume my race. Now, I talked about this in the My Life as a Cambodian American video, that I really don't like it when people assume my race, especially in situations like this. So one time I was at work, and obviously I had a name tag on, and this couple comes in, they're pretty old. They come in and they say, oh, your name is Jasmine? I have a coworker named Jasmine, she's Filipino. Are you Filipino too? I wanted to quit. No, but let me proceed with the story. So I'm like, no, I'm Cambodian. She's like, oh, I've heard about Cambodia. Do you know of any good Cambodian restaurants? And I'm like, no, I eat Cambodian food at home, ma'am. So I'm just sitting there like, please leave me alone. And she just continues to ask me questions, and I'm like, okay, thank you so much. Have a nice day. I just want to go. I have work to do. I was really surprised that I got this next one, which says when people don't blend their bronzer. Now, I don't get annoyed and that's not a pet peeve of mine. If people don't blend their bronzer, then they don't blend it. You know, that's up to them. There are some days where I don't have blended bronzer, so I wouldn't judge other people for it. I don't think I'm a makeup guru or anything like that. You know, I'm human. Everybody else is human. Sometimes people are testing out different products and maybe it just doesn't work for them. Maybe it's their first time using it and it's just a bad application. But I'm not going to feel offended or annoyed by it. It's just life. It's life. It's makeup. It washes off. It's fine. When people do not respect your privacy, oh my god, Jackie. Jackie's a real one for this one because I really don't like it when people don't respect my privacy. And like I said, you guys probably know about like 20% of my life, which I mean, I don't feel comfortable telling you guys like where I work. I don't feel comfortable telling you guys like which area of which city I live in. You know, I kind of keep that low-key for privacy reasons. As most of you guys know, I don't show you guys room tours because you know, I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable because I don't know who's watching. Like, yes, I have people who tune into every single video of mine and I'm so grateful for you, but for the majority, I'm kind of like I really don't know like 95% of you who are watching. So it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. So I just don't like telling you guys like where I go to school, work, all that stuff, because one, I'm actually really afraid of being kidnapped or somebody stalking me. So I want to not be as vocal about my personal life as much because the internet's crazy, people are crazy, you never know, and I just want to take extra precautions. So if one day, if I do feel like doing a room tour, or if I'm feeling like, ooh, like I want to tell you guys where I work and stuff, then by all means that will be my feeling and that will be my mood. But for now, I would really love if everyone just respected my privacy, because I just feel like everybody's breathing down my neck. Not everybody, but like I feel like most people breathe down my neck, and then it's just like it's just a lot of pressure, and I'm just like you know, like I don't know. So I know this is a common pet peeve where people get annoyed by the clicking on pens repeatedly. I don't have a personal issue with it, but I do have a story. When I was in my biology class, this guy was clicking his pen. I didn't really care for it. He sat right behind me, so I got like the full volume of it. And this girl from across the room literally stood up out of her seat and stared at this boy right in the face, and she said, "Can you please stop it? This is getting on my last nerve." And then she was like, "I can't think, I can't do it." And I was like, and then I think this was like the first or early second week of class. And I was like, I'm scared. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, please, I think I need a drop. But I personally don't get annoyed. Like little things like that, like, don't really tick me off unless, I'm already irritated at something, and you know, but typically like it doesn't really annoy me. So I actually got this one a lot where I would have to repeat myself, and that only applies to my boyfriend.
I don't never repeat myself or have to be repeated anything.
I only get annoyed because he doesn't know his lefts from his rights. So when I'm telling him directions, I'm like staring at him whenever I tell him directions, and I tell him, you're gonna stay to the right lane when you exit. He doesn't stay into the right lane until I repeat it like a million times, and that's when it irritates me. But other than that, we're good. I also got a lot of the assumption of when people ask you a question that you answered not too long ago, and yeah, I don't know. I understand it when it's like a math problem or like some type of thing that we're studying for, but if it's something like, oh, like my favorite color is blue, and then a minute later they said, oh wait, what was your favorite color? Blue. What? Blue. I'm sorry, what? But when it gets to that point, I'm kind of like, I'm over it, like just don't talk to me. But obviously if you're studying or like trying to learn material, like I obviously don't mind people repeating or me having to repeat myself because it's for our benefit. I was so surprised when Rostana said clout chasers because low-key, yeah, like those people kind of irritate me, and I'll give you a couple stories. Now, I'm pretty open about, you know, I don't let the amount of followers change me because at the end of the day, I told you guys, like I'm still me, but I do what's the word? Like, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the amount of people that are here and that support me, but there are some people who used to talk like mad crap about me in high school, like really bad, and then all of a sudden when like the numbers on my channel started to increase, all of a sudden they're trying to like have me like do their makeup, like us like be hella chill and, you know, try and kick it with me, and honestly, like I don't like that. And then also, like, even if I've never met the people in person, there were some circumstances where I met people like on Instagram, and this is kind of why I kind of have like low-key trust issues, but that's kind of besides the point. I feel like we should all have trust issues, like to a certain extent, but even like on Instagram, like I would think like, oh, like this person like really cares about me, and then like we'll be friends or whatever. But then like soon to find out, like they'll be like DMing me about like, hey, can you send me free makeup, or hey, can you send me any, I don't know, equipment or like things like of that nature, and I just don't like people like that. So yeah, I do have my reasons for like quote unquote clout chasing, but like what can you do? Like, I don't know. I know this is another popular pet peeve, is when people interrupt you while you're talking. It kind of depends on the situation. Honestly, like I'm pretty chill with it. If I'm with my friends and then we're like all having a good time and we want to like burst out our stories, then by all means, like I'll give like people their turn. Like I'll be like, oh no, you go, you go. So if I'm with my best friend, for example, like we always, if we start at the same time with telling a story, we'll always like, no, you go first. Mine's not important, or I want to hear yours first. Like it's always really respectful. So whenever I'm with my friends or people who I really trust, then I don't really mind it. But if it gets to the point where like I'm trying to talk and then people continue to overshadow me, then that's kind of where I'm like, like okay, whatever. But typically it's not like okay, whatever, because at that point my anxiety like rises up because I have social anxiety. So if it's with people I don't know, then like all that anxiety kind of like builds up and it feels like it's choking me. So that's not good. So I don't know if that's necessarily like something that annoys me. Maybe it's more of like an uncomfortable like situation for me when it does happen and I don't like it. Now I saved the best for last, and that is, can we get an eyebrow routine? That I think is like my #1 pet peeve. I swear to God, I think that might be it. That's the top of my list because I am so tired of making eyebrow routines. I have like 5 eyebrow routines. I have like 200 makeup tutorials. Within those makeup tutorials, like I want to say like 80% of my makeup tutorials has me doing my brows on camera. And you know what? I'm sorry, like yes, I may be using different products, but the method, the routine for the eyebrow is still gonna be the same even if I'm using a different product in the actual eyebrow routine video. It's all the same. It's really all the same. I don't know what to tell you guys. It's just, the routine itself is the same. The products maybe vary from brand to brand because I try out a lot of things. What do you expect? I try out a lot of things. I like purchase a lot of things, and you know, sometimes I can't have 20 eyebrow routines on my channel. I can't make one every month. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. I also got some responses where people talked about Cambodia. So I guess One of them would be kind of like when people ask where/what's Cambodia. That doesn't necessarily annoy me, but when that situation does occur, then I'll pretty much just point it out to them or kind of give them a general idea of where Cambodia is. I'll kind of say like it's a sister to Vietnam and Thailand, and that pretty much like gets everybody like on gear, and they're like, okay, yeah, like I get it. But I don't really get annoyed, and it's not really a pet peeve of mine. Now this one was actually really specific, which I really liked, and it was being told you don't know how to speak Khmer by either older Cambodian people or just Cambodians in general. And I have to say that this is kind of annoying. I do have to admit, like, just me being 100%, because I made it pretty clear that yes, I can speak it, but I understand it more than I could speak it, because I was born and raised in America, and my parents' priority was to learn English themselves. So they did speak it at home in majority of my childhood, but as I got older and older and older, it kind of got less and less and less. And yes, they do speak it to me, and of course I'll understand it. Yes, I have aunties and uncles who speak it, and yeah, I can respond in like ciao or like or like anything like that, but it gets hard when I have to make full sentences or like say certain things. Like I'll say certain phrases, and I've been pretty vocal about it, especially in that My Life as a Cambodian American video. But what annoys me the most is when people force me to speak it, because I know people mean well, but it's different when I say I have to learn how to speak it more in order for me to do a video speaking Cambodian, because the phrases I know is kind of like hello, I don't know, yes, like how are you, and it's just like basic words, and it's not anything that's gonna be any substantial information for you guys to get, I guess, entertainment out of. And I just feel very pressured. And then when I asked you guys on Instagram or on my YouTube community page, like, hey, to all my Cambodian viewers, you know, if you want to help teach me how to speak more Khmer, nobody reaches out. Like, nobody takes the effort to help me learn when everybody else is like trying to force me to speak. Like, well, how am I supposed to speak if nobody's trying to teach me or no one's trying to help teach me? Like, there's barely any apps on the App Store to help teach. Google Translate doesn't really help, and yes, there are a lot of videos on YouTube, but just like sometimes like I don't jive with those, you know. So it gets really hard, and plus I'm a full-time college student, so like also putting that small time aside to study a language, that's really hard. And plus I'm like already in my adult years, so trying to learn a language is really hard at my age, and it's difficult, and I wish that some people understood that, and I wish that people cut me some slack, because sometimes it gets really hard and I kind of get down in the dumps about it. Like, my boyfriend knows how stressed I get off of it, because I get DMs, I get messages every single day, like multiple times a day, of people like saying like, let me pull up some comments. I'm not going to expose them. I'm literally just going to read like what people say to me. Like, in all caps, people say like, I want a video or a makeup video in Khmer, and then like just things like, oh, well, you're old enough, like you need to learn Khmer, oh, or because since you don't know how to speak Khmer, you're not Cambodian. And it's just like cut me some slack, you know. I don't tell other people that like they can't speak English properly or fluently. You don't see me doing that shit, you know what I mean? And it's just, cut me some slack. At least I am trying to learn. I have been trying to learn for months. Even before I filmed that video, I have been practicing. And before, I couldn't even count to 10. Before I even made that video, I couldn't even count to 10. Now I can count to 29, and I think that's a huge milestone. okay? And that's for myself. And I'm not doing it for other people. I'm doing it for myself and for my knowledge. So yeah, it kind of annoys me that people just, I don't know, just force me to do things, and I can't learn a language overnight. Nobody can learn a language overnight. And I hope this doesn't like pushes anybody the wrong way, or, you know, just gives you a bad taste in your mouth about me, but it's just how it is. And it gets stressful when you hear it multiple times a day. So yeah, I just want you guys to know that I am learning. I have been trying to learn, and you know, when the time comes when I speak Khmer in a video, the time will come. I'm sorry that I can't have it by next week. It's just, I have to learn myself. So, cut me some slack. So I guess that will wrap up this video, you guys. I'm so sorry I kind of ended on that like weird note, but I hope you guys were able to relate to all the other pet peeves and other things that I was annoyed of. If you have any more like assumptions or anything like that, you know, feel free to leave it down below and I'll answer. If you guys want to let me know your pet peeves or things that annoy you, I'd love to know, because I know everybody is a little bit different, and you know, everybody has something that will just tick them off. So I hope you guys all enjoy this video. I hope you guys found it very lighthearted and, you know, pretty chill and relatable at least. But I hope you guys have a good day and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye. Peace out, Girl Scout.